I'm live on YouTube and I'm live on Instagram. And this is the second week of my Transforming Trauma series. If I look away for a moment, it's because I'm live on YouTube and live on Instagram. Last week, I started talking about anxiety. And so I wanted for us to all just take a moment and think about what makes you anxious. What are the things in life that bring you anxiety? Is it having to go to holiday dinner? For some people, they love it, right? Other people, that just brings them a ton of anxiety. What else? Is it giving a public speech? So think about that for a moment. And as you do, I'll talk about it. So anxiety is actually the body's normal reaction to any threat to our well-being. And I touched upon this last week, but were we ever meant to feel anxiety? Or is it just a modern adaptation to an ancient human system, a system that wired us for survival? Today, we don't really have the need to survive, except in the way that we have to provide for our families. And so anxiety helps us do that. Does any of that matter though? Because here we are feeling all this anxiety. So many people show up to see me feeling anxiety. And if you look at what anxiety does, anxiety symptomatically is really almost identical to trauma. Trauma is a nervous system response, the fight or flight response, and that's basically what anxiety is. It's your nervous system going into the fight or flight response. Anxiety surges through the nervous system, kicking off the fight or flight survival response. And then you begin to feel all these symptoms. Right? What happens? Your palms feel sweaty. Your body temperature starts to increase. Maybe you start to get a headache. Your gut doesn't feel so good. Maybe your stomach hurts or you feel a bit queasy. And then your mind starts to join the party. It starts spiraling into the past, into the future. And you can't really hang on to the present moment. But the present moment is actually where you can begin to heal. And that's what I want to really talk about. So, how do you begin to heal anxiety? The first step is with awareness. First, you have to be aware that you're suffering from anxiety. A lot of people that I talk to have had no clue that some of these symptoms they've suffered for decades, sometimes years, maybe just months, hopefully, right, were anxiety. And you have to be aware that you've suffered from anxiety in order to heal it, in order to get help, to reach out. It's important that in the moment you're having an anxiety attack and a panic attack, right, that you can stop that from happening. So if you're having anxiety, say you're in the middle of having a conversation with somebody and you start feeling anxiety, you have the ability to step out of that conversation, right? Because that can help bring your anxiety down, or you can use tools that you've learned to calm your anxiety. Because unless you're aware that you're having anxiety, you can't do any of those things. So with anxiety, you can work to change what's happening. Let's talk about triggers. I have a whole toolkit that I've created for triggers. It's mainly about trauma, but you can use it for anxiety. So you might be surprised at some of the triggers that are causing anxiety. It can be triggered by so many things. Potential triggers include anything from past trauma, foods or drinks, A lot of people find that caffeine triggers anxiety. Certain activities can trigger anxiety, certain times of day, people. Lack of sleep is a big one if you have regular anxiety. So you're welcome, and I encourage you to download my trauma trigger toolkit and use it for anxiety specifically. The next thing that you can do to regulate anxiety is use your breath. Because breath gets all wacky, you can use breath to come into present state of mind. So simply by taking some deep, slow breaths, that helps your mind come into focus, that helps bring oxygen through your nervous system, through your blood, through your body, and it helps tame the anxiety in the moment. And then the last point that I'd like to make that can help heal is mindful embodiment. So stepping into your body, and one of the best ways to do that is through movement. It can bring you into the present moment. It takes you out of your mind and into your body. I recommend choosing a movement that you love to do. And, anxious energy is the other side of the coin of excitement. So when you move your body, you can kind of channel excitement energy in a way. So by moving, sometimes you can tap into more of your playful side, if that makes sense. So by moving, sometimes you can feel the playful part of you. Your mind can calm down a little bit. Your nervous system can calm down, and you can get a sense of other parts of you that aren't as anxious. And the anxiety can simmer, and another part of you can come out, the more playful part of you, because movement can be play as well. And I'm talking about movements that are not necessarily as regimented. Dancing, playing basketball, things like this. So that is my live for today, and join me next week. I will also be going live at the same time. My lives are quick, but you can get the replay in my email list. I'll be sending it out later today. And if you're not part of my email list, you can join on my website. It's great to see you. Happy Friday. Have a fabulous weekend, and I'll see you soon. Take care.